out there in the internet lands. My name is Jaimelyn Gray, and welcome to You've Got a Thing, an interview thing about Milwaukee theater things on this Thursday, October 24th. That is, I actually had to look at the date because who knows what day it is anymore in all reality. This morning, well, it's morning here when I'm recording this, is we're going to have a great interview with Kimberly A of CAPITA Productions. Both CAPITA and The Constructivists, my organization, are part of a cohort called Milwaukee's Small Arts and Culture Cohort. It's a cohort of 11 organizations that was brought together during the pandemic to sort of revolutionize the way that we think of funding models for arts organizations. And SMAC, as we love to call it, is those 11 organizations spread all across arts organizations. It's not only theater, so this is sort of a theater adjacent episode. There's a couple of organizations such as mine that are theater oriented, but there's also dance, there's media, there's spoken word, and all these kinds of really great organizations. So I'm going to bring in the good lady Redding here to talk about a little bit about CAPITA and how that works with SMAC and how it's changing the world for CAPITA Productions as well. So without further ado, hello, Kimberly. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm okay. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful fall day here in Milwaukee, and so thank you so much for coming on today and fitting us into your schedule. I just want to get right into it then. As far as SMAC, or Small Arts and Culture Cohort, is concerned, you were sort of a little bit fresh to the cohort. The main person that has been involved with SMAC over the 3 years that we've actually been together has been Rulene Artis, and she could not be here with us today. So you are an excellent person to jump in instead of Rulene, that awesome human being. Can you talk a little bit about, first of all, CAPITA and what CAPITA stands for, and how it works in the city of Milwaukee?
Absolutely. I'd love to. So CAPITA stands for City at Peace in the Arts. And CAPITA Productions has been around for quite a while. I first came to CAPITA as an audience member who was pulled into the show that they do every February, March, which highlights 500, 600 years of African-American and Black American history and culture through song, dance, spoken word, in a Broadway-style theater production. So CAPITA is a community-funded and supported theater organization. We do no-cut auditions, and the goal is to serve underserved Milwaukee communities and give kids, youth, and adults the chance to be on stage, to build community with one another and put on a professional show, and all the benefits that Jaimelyn, working together in the arts provides.
Yeah. That's one thing that I really love about CAPITA is that no cut audition platform. And for those of you who don't know, that means that anybody who auditions can participate, and they will work people in to make that happen. And one thing that I love about what Rulene has said about CAPITA is that it's really, for so many people, the first access point to the arts of their lifetime. Absolutely. And how many people actually find like their purpose through CAPITA?
Absolutely. It's empowering, particularly for communities who have been told to keep their heads down and maybe not speak out, not create waves, to be given literally a stage and encouraged to speak, sing, dance from the heart.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I have seen CAPITA perform. My Lord, those voices are just, I mean, of otherworldliness. Honestly, just they will blow your mind if you ever have the opportunity to see a CAPITA performance. It's amazing. So let me turn then to the SMAC portion of CAPITA, and and I can speak from the constructivist standpoint. CAPITA is an organization that has been involved with SMAC since the very beginning. How the small arts and culture cohort started out was we started in the pandemic, and it really was a work group from Imagine MKE to really come together and try to work our way through the pandemic is really
absolutely
what had happened. And the longer we went on with it, it was really Mac Antigua who turned it more into an affinity group of small arts organizations that we could really talk about our pains and our struggles. And as things sort of went along, it kind of naturally weeded out itself. And we ended up with these 11 organizations of various arts backgrounds to come together as one organization to put sort of our funds together so that we could apply for grants and get past those thresholds that a lot of these funding organizations have, where they're like, oh, you have to make $100,000 in order to even apply for this grant. And I know for the constructivists, we don't even come close to that as a yearly revenue. It's you can go and look at our IRS tax things as a 501c3. You can look at how much money we actually make. And so we came together, we started applying for things, we started fundraising together, and the funds that we raise, well, first of all, the threshold of the funds is that all of our organizations are under $350,000 a year, and we are trying to. I'm trying to find the actual number. Yeah, the goal is for us to raise enough funds so that each organization gets $25,000 a year over the course of 3 years. And then in those 3 years, we're done. And we move on with our lives, and a new cohort would come in to go through the same thing. We have already received some funds from this platform. Can you talk a little bit about the accessibility that creates for CAPITA to have access to a greater funding model than what they previously had?
Yes. So to me, and this is just my words, SMAC is a problem-solving cohort.
Totally.
That helps all of the organizations within it address issues that we know we have. And that is, obviously, funding is one of them. And
funding is kind of the most problematic.
Well, and because funding allows other things to happen. So in CAPITA, for example, Rulene has been really good at articulating the need for SMAC to us. And she and I have worked on grant writing together. And so this problem that, oh, we're not big enough to qualify for XYZ, right, is one that we stumble over and over.
Right.
And so the SMAC model helps us not only surmount that threshold, as you said, but also see through that threshold to what other arts organizations are doing and grow out of that expertise, that common expertise. So quick example. So when SMAC meets to talk about possible grants or possible funding, we also have a chance to talk about, how do you do this piece? How do you do your marketing? How can we collaborate in that way? And so this may sound corny, but I feel like SMAC embodies what the arts at the very best do, which is build on individual talents to make something bigger than any one of us could do alone.
Oh, I personally don't think that sounds corny at all, but
I'm preaching to the choir, right?
Yeah, I mean, a really great example from one of our recent meetings is how Megan McGee sent out a bookkeeper session to that if anybody wanted to join in on or whatever, she sent the link to bookkeeping services. And also recently we took a few minutes in our monthly meeting to share what projects we're working on and listed all of those in our notes so that people could go and see each other's work. And it's a really great door opening kind of utility to cross these different art forms, what CAPITA does, what Wolf Studios does, what the Constructivists do, what Pink Umbrella does, and things of that sort. Perry Animam, who, another one of those beautiful voice kind of groups. And so, yeah, it's not just about the funding. The funding is the basis, because that is our largest pain point. Right. But it really is an affinity group of feeling like you are a part of a greater something.
Exactly. And it makes possible things that, at least in CAPITA, we couldn't otherwise do. So in CAPITA, we had talked about periodically trying to hire someone to help us identify grants. So Rolene does a little bit of that. I do a little bit of that on our own, but those are not our trained skills, right? We do it out of passion and sort of scrolling through. The cost of hiring a consultant for a small arts organization is pretty steep.
Yes.
The ability to come together with CAPITA, with the other 10 organizations, with the other 10 organizations in SMAC, and go in on that consultant together, it not only shares the cost, but it sort of forces Rulene and I to think about, okay, what are the core selling points of CAPITA? How do we articulate that concisely to someone who can help us find grants?
Yeah. That was a really cool opportunity that was afforded to us. Absolutely. And we voted on it. It was something where, some of us were, I was admittedly a little sketchy on, because I look at that dollar amount that we're pooling in to hire this consultant. And I look at that and I go, that's costumes, right? That's rent. That's this, that's that. It's that sort of long game or short game. And right. Unfortunately, a lot of us small organizations are often playing that short game, that production to production thing, which right. is really what SMAC is supposed to be wanting to overcome. It's reliable funding to be able to plan the long term.
Absolutely. The long term is like the deep end of the swimming pool.
Yeah.
At CAPITA, we've been talking about wanting to have some kind of long-term strategic plan for years.
Right. You're like,
and we feel like that would be attractive.
What 5-year plan?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's a whole nother episode, I think.
Right. That's yeah.
But together with SMAC, I mean, SMAC has let us at least dip a toe into the deep end of a pool of funding and a pool of planning, right? It's scary to invest that money.
Yeah.
It's scary to put out that money and not know not know where the costumes are going to come from, to be thinking about, oh, I could hire another lighting professional for that. I could hire another dance coach. I could hire another drumming instructor.
Yeah.
But I think when the 11 organizations kind of grab hands and jump in together, it's a little less scary.
I forgot to put the so our only website that we have is the Mighty Cause funding resource utility that actually goes through Create Wisconsin. Create Wisconsin is our fiscal sponsor. So you can check out the whole story, the whole shebang, the whole, who has given and all that kind of stuff by going to mightycause.com/story/SMAC Milwaukee. And that's SMAC, SMAC, for the Small Arts and Culture Milwaukee.
Please check that out.
Please check that out. Yeah, it really is. You should just roll back a little bit. So the biggest problem that we deal with in Wisconsin is how poor we are at funding the arts, right? We are currently, and we flip back and forth, but right now we are currently 50th in state funding of the arts. We were 49th. Yay. So we fell back again because we were 50th, then 49th, then 50th. And all that had to do with was another state putting funding into their.
Which is really unbelievable. I think if you surveyed 100 people on the street, no one would think that.
No one would know that.
No one would know that. Right.
Yeah. And I mean, that's really something that's a whole other episode in and of itself as well, right?
Yes.
Where I would really, really beg you to talk to your legislators about where they stand on public arts funding, because I think you would be surprised at where your representatives actually stand. But then you think about how art actually impacts your life, theater, dance, music, all of those things, and to really hear where they come from on that, I think might be a little mind blowing.
Right, and we know the science is finally catching up with what those of us in the arts already know. So the psychology is saying, and the sociology, that the fine arts solidify and carve pathways in the brain. Right.
Yes.
That artistic expression is creating resiliency skills. Yes.
I know. We sit there and we're like, it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer, right? And I am not, by training, I am not an arts person. I'm a complete amateur. I sing because I love to sing. I have no training. And it just, it blows my mind that the sciences are telling us what I've felt in my heart, and yet at the policy and funding level, Wisconsin hasn't kept up.
Really, really, really far behind. Really, really, really poor. So just to start your journey on the funding model of what we SMAC go through, you can go to mightycause.com/story/SMAC Milwaukee. And you can check out the story there. And then, talk to your representatives and learn more about where they stand on that. Can you give me, Kimberly, can you give me the website for CAPITA? I did not put that out there because I am a horrible producer.
It's CAPITA Productions. Wait, let me make sure I get it with the punctuation right. And while I'm confirming that, I'd also want to put in a little plug for Giving Tuesday, which is coming up.
Is that coming up already? Oh my gosh.
Well, I guess it's about a month away, but it's coming up. So SMAC is participating in Giving Tuesday.
We are.
And So that's an easy way to support us straight away. So
Absolutely.
And I can tell you CAPITA Productions, I did get the punctuation right. It's simply www.capitaproductions.com.
Yeah.
All lowercase.
Yeah.
CAPITA Productions with an S.com.
Awesome. Yeah, because I have to do that with the constructivists. I have to. There's the S at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're updating our website, so it's a work in progress. But you can see if you go to the gallery page, that's the most exciting page. You can see clips from the show, and hopefully it'll lift your spirits.
Does CAPITA have anything coming up? I know that they do a lot of stuff in the springtime and the summertime. Are they planning anything for the holiday season at all?
No, not in that sense. So we are in rehearsals already now. So we do some sort of fundamental training rehearsals early in the fall, which is now.
Right on.
And then pretty soon we'll shift to rehearsals for the We Are the Drums show, which comes up end of February, early March. Our script writing team is actually revising the script right now. And so I'm excited to see where that comes out.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. Well, we will be looking forward to that. Thank you so much for taking the time here today to help me talk about this awesome revolutionary funding model here in Milwaukee. And I hope you have a most excellent day.
Thank you, Jaimelyn. It's been such a pleasure. You just energized me. And talking about SMAC.
Now go forth.
Exactly.
And conquer all.
Thank you for the blessing. Will do.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, yes. Superhuman, that Kimberly Redding. I'm so glad that she decided to help CAPITA out and come to our meetings, because that one is filled with energy as well. We're all kind of spicy people in that group. We I guess you have to be when you're in a small arts organization. It takes a lot of effort to make that stuff happen. So I'm really grateful to have her involved. But now let's change gears here and go and let me let you know about the things that are happening in the Milwaukee theater universe right at this moment in time. Let me share my screen here and show you all the magical things. First of all, I know a little bit about this here. In the Canyon by Calamity West, directed by myself, is closing this weekend. We have 3 shows left: tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday, and then we are done. I know a lot of people say this, but I do have to say this. Like, people have been over the moon about this show, and both critics and audience have been just really excited about the content. Calamity actually came to see the show on Saturday and was also over the moon about the show, which just really filled my heart, because there's one thing as a director that you don't want to do, and that's destroy somebody's vision of their show. And I've had very limited experience about about playwrights coming in and watching their work. So my heart was pounding the whole time. But you can go to www.theconstructivists.org to check that out. And I'm wondering if I can possibly share the trailer here, because I just got this morning and I would love to share it with you. I love that trailer so much. Brianne Brennan, who is a theater artist here in Milwaukee and a UW Oshkosh grad, just like myself, is responsible for that trailer. She just did a bang up job on that. Showed it to Calamity. Calamity was also just thrilled about that, and I'm just thrilled when other people are thrilled. So yeah, again, www.theconstructivists.org for that. Also, we had Josh Bryan on last week for Cabaret Milwaukee. Happy closing to them. They close on Sunday. We close on Saturday. They close on Sunday. I'm going to try this. Frisch Free Start Trau or something like that, a puppet history of the Milwaukee Turners. You can go and watch that, and he will pronounce it for you better than I ever will be able to do that. But they are closing this week on Sunday. You can go to their Facebook page for that. I believe that's on, I don't have it on here, but it's facebook.com/ I think it's CABMKE is what you can find the link to that show and all that on their Facebook page. And then also closing, and I'm going to try and see this on Saturday and make it happen. Waitress at Skylight Music Theater is closing this Sunday as well. So you've got you've got 3 shows closing. So you could go and see, In the Canyon tonight, Waitress tomorrow, and then go and see the Milwaukee Turner show on Sunday. That is my plan for you. I think you should go and do that. Listen to me. I know all. And this is a wonderful story about Jenna, a talented pie baker trapped in a loveless marriage. It's a story about friendship and courage and independence and finding sweetness in life. And you can go to smtmke.org for those tickets. Go and run and get those tickets. Just a little bit of other news. The Moors opened. I am trying to get over at Renaissance Theater Works. I'm trying to get somebody to come on next week to talk about The Moors by Jen Silverman, directed by Susan Fett. This is a dark comedy. Oh, we love the dark comedy. We must make it happen all the time, constantly, because it is some of the best art you will ever find. When something can make you laugh, cry, be horrified, all of the things all at the same time, that is the most awesome of arts, in my own personal opinion. This takes place on a lonely and isolated in a Gothic manner. 2 sisters yearn for love and power on the remote English moors. And the arrival of a charming young governess compels all 3 women down a strange and twisted path as only Jen Silverman can make happen. And so you want to go to rwtmke.org for that. Renaissance. Nope, I did that word wrong. rtwmke.org. rtwmke.org for Renaissance Theater Works and the Moors. And hopefully, like I said, I can get somebody next week to come on and talk about that awesome Silverman adventure. And then I have it on good authority that A Very Deadly Constructivist Holiday is starting rehearsals this week. And so you will start seeing all of that on our Facebook page. We'll have a casting announcement soon about that. But Andrew Hobgood is going to direct that this year. I am relinquishing the directing reins for the first time in the Constructivist history. I am taking a back seat. If you saw it last year, it's the same premise, but it's going to be a different vibe, a little bit darker, little bit different, because Andrew's going to be directing that. But I hope you can come and see it. It's only 7 shows. It's 2 weeks only at the Broadway Theater Center there. But we will start rehearsals for that on Sunday. Woohoo! And Also on the social medias, Forte Theater shared some news about some casting around town. Their artistic director, Randall Dodge, is playing Fagin in Oliver over at Skylit Music Theater. They were just celebrating a whole bunch of people making things happen around town. All this is to say, please follow us on the social medias. Please make that happen. And that'll be your direct line to knowing what is going on in Milwaukee theater. But you can go to fortetheatrecompany.org to find out more about what they have going on. Just a kind reminder that it is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and just to recognize the disabled persons in your workplace this month, because they do a lot, and that was made that way in 1988. That Congress expanded that the week that we used to recognize disabled folks in the workplace, and they changed it to a month in 1988. And so just a reminder to recognize, again, those people in your life. And just a final word about October being Domestic Violence Month and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. You can call the National Domestic Abuse Hotline at 800-799-SAFE if you need to do that. That's the whole purpose, is to help end the silence and report it if you see it. And together we can end the abuse. And that is the other things that are happening. That's what I got for you today. I'm a little over time, but it's important stuff that we talk about around here. So I hope you go out and see some live theater. I hope you go and check out the Mighty Cause page of SMAC. And that is all we have today. But join us next week. Like I said, I hope I can get somebody from Renaissance Theater Works to come and talk about the Moors. And you have yourselves a wonderful evening, and or whatever you're doing whenever you watch this, because it's the internets and things last forever now. But I hope to see you next week on You've Got a Thing.